Good spring evening, Sooner Nation. Welcome to the Sooner Surge. On here, as always, on our nightly conversation with all of you on here. Appreciate everyone that's on here already and for the many more that are going to hop on. Thanks so much for being not just a part, Jay, a big part of what happens each night here on the Sooner Surge, and that's you guys with your comments. And we appreciate you. And how's it going, Jay?
Good, man. You look like you're on ESPN doing a broadcast or something with your suit. Hey, Jen, I see you're on here. What'd you think about the Idol finale? Obviously, Abby won. I liked Abby, and I know we talked about this other night. Abby gets the win. She's a great singer. Abby and Will, I like both of them. But, Jen, I don't know about you, but that finale, I don't think any performance was as good as Roman Collins and CeCe Winans. Jeremy, I don't know if you've watched.
The Goodness of God song was unbelievable, Jay.
Roman Collins, that was unbelievable. And the guy, and I hate to say it, the reason he got voted off earlier is he was doing worship songs on there. I mean,
100%.
I mean, I loved it. I thought it was
100%.
great. What you thought, Jim? I just thought I'd bring it up. But
I know you want to bring this up, Jay. What Monty said. I know you want to bring it up, and I do too.
I didn't say it was a lock. I mean, there's a lot of people that did.
It's not that, Jay. It's the fact that and thanks, Monty, for the compliment on looking good. I had a track banquet. I just walked in the house maybe a minute and a half ago. It was great celebrating student accomplishments, okay? It was an amazing night. Listen, Jay, this is why I don't follow recruiting closely. I don't care. I know the pundits might have said, OU's getting this guy. And, of course, I started believing it too. But it's annoying sometimes.
Well, what's annoying as far as at the last minute somebody swoops in or what?
Annoying that people think they actually know where kids are going. I claim I don't know. So,
yeah, but I see what Topher's saying. I understand that. But it sounded like a lot of people thought he was for sure going to OU. I think is what people are saying on here.
Well, yeah, of course people thought he was going to OU. OU fans did. OU insiders did. Doesn't change my opinion.
Follow the money, Ron says. I mean, yeah, I don't follow it that closely either, Jeremy, but I don't think that's why I don't think. I mean, there's most guys you see that are in leans or heavy favor towards certain places or whatever. You never know until the last second, and you still don't know until they sign on the dotted line. So,
yep, that's why I like signing day a lot better than the recruiting stuff. Sign, and then I'll believe it.
Yeah, Jen says the Elgin guy only in Oklahoma short time. That's what people are saying, but I don't know if that. I mean,
then why did people act like they were getting him, Jay?
Well, I thought it. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people are saying that was a lock. Here's my thing. I personally would rather have a few other guys over Ogu. So I'm not like that hurt.
I know you weren't like totally sold on him, Jay.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, big guy, talented, but I think there's a lot bigger fish out there. Yeah,
hey,
I mean,
signing day does mean a little bit, though.
Yeah.
You get him for a year, so it means a little bit.
Yeah, OU will finish like.
And again, Bobby, I see what you're saying, but again, who says that?
Who says what?
What Bobby was saying about the coaches really felt good when they left there yesterday. Well, how else are you going to feel? I don't think a kid's going to tell you, I'm not going there.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. That's a tough thing. Being the recruiting guys, it's a tough gig because you never know if somebody's really telling you the truth. That's a flat out fact, Jeremy. So, I mean, there's just no way to know. And that's why you have to have the strong relationships. But even then, you've seen it where it hasn't really gone your way. So,
congrats to Monty's nephew, new youth pastor at a big church in Fort Worth.
Nice.
That's great.
Nice, Monty. Bobby says we didn't get LeBlanc for a year when he signed.
It's rare, Jay.
Yeah, I see what he's saying. Yeah, he left early, but
it's rare, Jay.
Hey, I think it's flipped though, Ron. Kids never know if the recruiters are telling the truth. Recruiters, I mean, the recruiting insiders never know if the kids are telling the truth, really, either. I know you're talking about recruiters as far as coaches, but I'm just saying it also works the other way, too. Two-way street. That's right, Hunter. Two-way street.
Am I lagging or are you lagging?
I feel like I'm lagging or something.
Am I lagging or are you lagging?
I think I'm lagging.
You sounded like a robot. It may be on my end, Jay. Hunter will let us know. It does go both ways, Ron. It absolutely does. Absolutely goes both ways. Jen, I don't have time to watch recruiting, and I don't have the energy or patience because of the flip-flop, snip, snop, whatever you want to call it. It's flaky.
Snop.
Flaky.
Flip snop.
If I wanted to hang around flaky people, I mean, I'm just going to say it, Jay. A lot of young people are flaky these days.
Okay.
I just said it, Jay.
Boston game's going overtime, Hunter says. Hey, I don't like Boston at all. At all. You paused there for a second, Jeremy. I don't know what happened. Are you a Boston fan? Jeremy, I can't hear you, buddy.
So, no, I'm not a Boston fan. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Ron says I might be lagging. Just seen DZ throw a touchdown pass against Texas. So maybe Ron's lagging. Yeah. And Jeremy's gone. He's out of here. So he'll be right back. Ricky says Vols gave double what Oklahoma did. I mean, I've heard that. Isn't it? Don't you guys think it's pretty much true now that if a guy flips last minute, it's always going to be somebody say it's the money? I think every single time a guy flips last minute, somebody's going to say they got dropped a bag. It's just what's going to happen.
Can you hear me now, Jay?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I'm not a Celtics fan, no.
Mess says, watch recruiting for less today with NIL and the portal being so impactful and active. I'll be patient with the process today. So.
Did you see what, who was it? Mike Krzyzewski had a big to-do about college sports and where it's going.
What did he say?
Basically, his synopsis was, let me summarize it for you. There's no one in charge, and it's going haywire, basically.
Well, yeah. I think everybody knows that. I don't need Mike Krzyzewski to tell me that.
Boston cream pie I've never had, but I love me some banana cream pie.
Bobby says, recruiting and free agency are pretty exciting to follow. I understand exciting, but almost annoying as well. I'd say exciting and annoying.
Yeah, I would agree.
Whatever floats your boat. I mean, some people love it, some people probably don't. But
not much happening, Jay.
Thanks for joining us, Kim. Contracts will be the new norm, so that teams will have to buy out the contract to get players to flip. I think that's what it's going to. It's. Are you for it to go to more of like a pro model? Are you fine with all this nuts? It's exciting. It's exciting.
No, I think there's got to be some control.
I agree. There's got to be control, and there's got to be control of the portal for sure. The portal's out of hand. What did you think
like
about
the portal?
Did you see? Bobby dropped it in the Discord the other day about the NIL, how much average each position group's getting. Did you read it all?
I did not.
It was way low. Most of them. My opinion.
Storms tonight, yes. We got hail here in Sapulpa earlier. Got car damage.
Nice hail.
Car damage.
Oh, did you get car damage?
Couple of dings, Jay.
Yeah.
Where's everyone tonight? It said.
Will Peyton Bowen start this year? I think he will. Jeremy, you don't. I know.
I think RSJ starting. Me
I,
personally, I'm fine
I
with
think
him or Bowen, honestly.
I think Bowen will start. My personal opinion.
And I
Bobby
agree with
agrees.
Bobby.
Yeah, he agrees with you. I think that's going to be a battle to watch in the summer. I mean, in the fall, I really do. I think that's one of the real tight battles will be for that starting role. Just like I think defensive back will be uh, it will be a tight battle as well. There's some good position group battles.
Agreed. And the thing about Peyton Bowen is I don't think we got a good, accurate uh, view of who Peyton Bowen really is after his freshman year. He was banged up a lot. He showed glimpses early, but after the injuries, you just didn't really get a full, viewpoint perspective of who Peyton Bowen is. And I think that's kind of skewed some of the mindset, probably even of myself, Jay. Is I like what I've seen out of RSJ last year, but I also got to remember it's a little skewed perspective in looking at Peyton Bowen.
Yeah, but when last year when Peyton won early in the year, everybody on here was wanting him to play more and start. I mean,
Absolutely.
because of what he was doing, and then
What I'm saying is,
it kind of slowed down because he was a little banged up, and so
but what I'm saying is, he played through it. And sometimes when you play and you're 85% and people don't really know what you're going through on a pain level, people get the perspective of this guy's just not very good. And that's not the story on Peyton Bowen. That's not it at all.
yeah, great God, you're right about that. Zach Alley loves using a bunch of DBs. What do you think about Hardy that's visiting from Jacksonville State, played under Zach Alley?
I think he's pretty much a log, Jay. If he's going to want to go here and OU's going to want him, he's going to come here because of Zach Alley.
I did see this, but here's the thing about On3. I don't put a ton of stock in what On3 says on rankings or anything. I just don't. Yeah, where's Lori? Hit the like, as Monty says. Appreciate that. Do you, Jeremy? And there's, I think, yeah, Bobby says trash. I think a lot of people think that about On3 right now, just because some of their rankings are just so haywire.
And Jay, I haven't looked at Hardy's stats specifically.
Unbelievable stats.
I know Ricky says they're unbelievable.
60 tackles.
Yeah.
That's a lot of tackles.
I mean, best team they played, Jay.
I don't have their schedule in front of me. They weren't. I mean, they didn't play a lot of great teams. I mean, I understand that.
Yeah. On3 is garbage, dude. Dog water.
What's the best? What do you think the best one is?
I don't follow recruiting enough. 247, I guess.
I'm asking the viewers in their opinion.
Yeah, because you don't want my opinion. I don't follow it.
Yeah, I don't want your opinion. You're right.
Ron asked if Schmidt got Bowen too. I'm confused. Are you saying is Bowen hurt because of Schmidt?
Injuries. I think he's talking about injuries.
I don't think there's a correlation myself.
Greg God says rivals. Bobby says 247, then rivals. Ricky says 247 going downhill. You're going to have a lot of varying opinions on that, I think.
I mean, I think one thing you can attest to injuries, and I'm going to say this not for OU, okay? I don't know enough that goes on at OU on a daily basis, but I do know what seems to be the going norm across the nation is not much hitting at practice. I think that has a direct result in injuries. I think teams that take it easy at practice in the hitting aspect and category are more injured later in the year. My personal opinion. It may be so off base. There may be no research to back it up. I don't know. That's my initial gut. Teams that hit at practice, less likely to get hurt in a game. And again, maybe there's nothing.
Yeah, I like what Chief says. Thanks, Chief, for joining. I like this comment a lot. By mid-season, I guarantee a bunch of so-called experts are going to have egg on their face about OU. Tell me a weakness on defense. I'll wait. I think on paper, there's not one. But that's the thing. On paper, I think you still got to see it in a game because, guys, last year the defense made massive improvements. But there were still games, and even go back to the TCU game at the end of the year, where you're like, man, they're getting gashed. Yes, they had injuries. And that's another thing you got to wait on is how many injuries are they going to have? What key positions could they be at? They are deeper, so that's going to help. But I need to see a season. Here's what I need to see. I need to see them dominate in the non-con schedule like they have on defense. They've done that. Under 2 years under Brent Venables, they played really good in the non-con. And then they've kind of gotten into the conference, and they haven't looked as good defensively. I need to see it in both aspects. And I'm not talking throwing shutouts. I'm talking just good, maybe it's consistency. That's the word I'm looking for. Consistency on defense.
Couple things, Jay. Anthony Goad says, I saw a Facebook post that someone had OU with the number 2 running back room. Are you talking in the country or are you talking about in the conference? I actually think that's high. That's really high in the country. There's no way they're number 2 in the running back room in the country. In the conference, I still think it's high. I think they're probably about 4th, but I don't know the other running backs enough on in the SEC. I would think that's high, gut feeling. Second of all, how do I honestly feel about the Edge right now? Let me tell you. I feel really good about Ethan Downs. I feel really good about PJ Adebawore. I feel really good about R. Mason Thomas. I feel really good about Caden Woolard. I have not mentioned Danny Okoye. I have not mentioned
Trace Ford.
I will not mention Trace Ford. I have not, and I will not. He won't make my list, Jay, but I feel good about the Edge. I feel better about the Edge this year than last.
And the interior as well.
And the interior.
Yeah, so I think, I don't think there's a weakness on defense. I don't. And offensively, they got talent all over the place. Obviously, the weakness, I would say, and I don't even know if you call it a weakness, you call it a uncertainty, it's the O-line. That would be the number one question mark because you're going to be starting a center that's never played at OU. Either Hickman or Bates. It's probably going to be Hickman. Never played at OU. So that's going to be new. I don't worry about receiver room at all. So I think a lot of this season is going to come down to 2 things: offensive and defensive line. I know that's obvious, but I think that's where.
Newsflash, Copernicum.
What's Copernicum?
Exactly, Jay. Exactly my point. Does Gerald McCoy work for OU? No, he doesn't.
No, NFL Network. Last I saw, he was on there.
I thought he might get a position at OU. I thought maybe there'd be a spot for him, but look, he's at the NFL Network right now, unless something has changed.
Maybe he doesn't want to do that, Jeremy.
No, I said that.
Oh, okay.
I said that, Copernicum.
Yeah. I don't know why you keep saying Copernicum.
Hey, listen. Always at school, Jay was the serious one, okay? I was the jokester. I was the one that would get fired up. He would kind of be even keel, which is good. It's a good combo. I can count on my hand how many times Jay's gotten fired up here on a live. It's not many. Now, real life,
you know why?
He can lose it with the best of them.
The difference is I can get fired up if it's something that I really take heat to and disagree on. You get fired up over somebody saying some type of cereal or something. I mean, it's just.
Yeah, I'm passionate, Jay.
What?
I'm like the OU softball women. I'm unashamed, unapologetic about my passion towards Fruity Pebbles. And I will stay that way my entire life. I'm going to leave this live and go get Fruity Pebbles, Jay.
You do every night, don't you?
Absolutely. I'm a cereal guy.
Yeah.
Trivia time, Jay.
Trivia tonight. Trivia. This kind of maybe could be called a trick question, but not really. Greygot says Cocoa Pebbles better. Disagree with that. But here we go. Trivia tonight. Before we get to the question, check out Fanstop. Fanstop.com. Use code SURGE. Get 10% off your first 3 months. And, oh, by the way, they're officially licensed shirts. They're amazing. You get them at the beginning of each month, and you want to get signed up for it. So check that out. Cinnamon Toast Crunch is really good, Hunter, especially dry. I eat all my cereal dry, no milk. I'm not a milk guy. So here we go. Trivia for the night. What is the lowest uniform number on Oklahoma going into this year? that does not have an offensive and a defensive player. Does that make sense? The lowest uniform number that does not have an offensive and a defensive player attached to it. It's not 0. You got David Stone and Caleb Hicks. David Stone and Caleb Hicks are 0. That's not it. It's not 2.
Billy Bowman
and Bowman.
There it is, Gray God.
Gray God, it's 4. We did this trivia question earlier this year, and it went all the way up to like 18 or 20, I think. Can't remember the number, but Harrington has transferred now, so 4 is not. There's no 4 on defense.
Hey.
So, good job, Gray God.
Couple things. One, Ron, I don't care if Fruity Pebbles are in heaven. I won't care about Fruity Pebbles in heaven, okay? I promise you that. Second, Mez is talking about the Bigsby lineman, Jay.
Are you talking about Evan McClure?
My guess is it's Evan McClure unless there's someone else.
Yeah, so Jackson goes to Bigsby. He said he was there. Brandon Hall and Bill Beatumbo were there.
Right, but it would be for McClure, right?
McClure's already committed to Oklahoma.
Well, so Hunter's saying Broderick Scholl.
Okay, it could be Broderick. Could be that guy that's a senior. I think he's a senior this year going in.
What's his size, Jay? What's Broderick Scholl's size, Hunter? And a top 20 O lineman in the country, you're saying. I was curious about what his rating was.
Yeah.
So his rating is a top 20 O lineman in the country? Or in the state? Top 20 overall in the state, I'm assuming. 6'6", 275. Yeah, that's big. In the nation? I did not know that. You mean top 20 O linemen in the nation?
Yes, correct.
I thought they meant top 20 player. I'm like, 6'6", Jay. Who's the big lineman from? I mean, when Rain came out of BA, he was big. Who was the other big O lineman from
player in the nation?
There is, and listen, kudos to everyone. There is zero chance that this guy's top 20 in the country, Jay.
You said you don't follow recruiting. Now you're acting like you know.
We would have heard more about him by now.
Maybe you have heard more about him, but you don't pay attention to it like you just said.
He would have been more highly touted than Evan McClure, Jay, last year.
He was only a junior last year, was he not?
It doesn't matter. He should have been getting looks and looks and looks last year if he was a top 20 in the nation.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. A guy from Bigsby could be top 20. I highly doubt it when I look at the guys that have come through there that he's top 20 overall. He may be one of the best linemen out there, but top 20 overall is insane.
Okay, but what are you saying? Bigsby isn't good? They don't put out good players?
No, that's not what I'm saying at all,
That's what you just said. That's what you just said. You go, I've seen the guys come out of Bigsby, and there's no chance one of them's top 20.
I didn't say I've seen the guys. I said that's not how I said it, Jay.
That's exactly what you said, by the way.
I'll go back and rewatch what I said.
Go back and rewatch it after. That's what you said.
What I'm saying is a guy in the backyard 10 minutes from my house, if he was a top 20 guy overall across all the board, I think we probably would have heard a lot more about him right now.
Yeah, you would think so. I agree with that.
I haven't heard much on him, Jay.
I haven't either.
I've heard a lot of Evan McClure. That's all I'm saying. The guy is 6'6", 275. He should be highly touted. That's massive.
Hey, Mess. Nebraska believes they lead in all offensive line.
And Jay, Nebraska's back.
You're saying it right now. They're back, 100%.
I'm saying Nebraska's back under Matt Rule.
Back as in this year. What are they going to be? What's record-wise?
I think they throw out a 9-3.
Ooh.
10-4 at the worst.
I think they're under 9 wins.
I'd take the 9 or above.
I mean, 8 or 9, maybe. Yeah.
For everyone to bash on 3, it's the only ones that people comment on are on 3.
I'd have to look at their schedule.
Hey, guys, everybody on here. If I bash a ranking, I'm not going to drop it in the chat about on 3. I care less about on 3. Maybe I should start a recruiting site.
Oh, gosh, that'd be fun.
Oh, I can do crystal balls. I'll come up with some creative name.
Oh boy, that's a road we don't want to go down, Jeremy.
Absolutely is. I agree. You don't want to go down it. It's going to lead a dead end. I'm just shocked that if a guy is top 20 in the country, we have not heard about him more in Oklahoma. Who was the last Oklahoma player top 20 in the country, Jay? Can you even name him?
Last Oklahoma recruit that was a top 20 player in the nation?
Last high school Oklahoma recruit, top 20 in the nation. Hunter, do you know who it is?
Where was Okoye ranked?
Okoye was not top 20 in the country, Jay.
I know he wasn't. I'm asking where.
Probably around 50. I was thinking maybe a Reggie Smith might have been top 20 in the country.
Hey, that would be a great name for your crystal ball at Dingleberry.
There you go. I should start it, Jay. Yep. Top 20 players based on upside, boys.
Gosh.
Hey, I don't know that I wouldn't say the Elgin kid screwed OU, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. I think he was
I thought he was going to go to OSU.
He's a 3-star, isn't he?
Right now.
I'd like to have had him. Maybe OU would have too. But
Bray Walker.
Bray Walker was top 20 overall. If that's the case and this guy's there, McCoy was 13th. Gerald McCoy. Okay, guys? And you see why I'm saying this? You heard all kinds of things about those guys.
Hey,
it's the second time I might have heard Scholl's name.
Great question here would be highest rated high school player to ever come out of Oklahoma.
Highest high school rated player ever out of Oklahoma.
Yeah. Who would it be?
In the history of Oklahoma.
I'm sure the Surgeaholics will figure it out.
I mean, basketball was...
I'm not talking about basketball.
Wayman Tisdale, I want to say.
I'm not talking... Blake Griffin was highly rated.
Not Wayman-esque. Gerald McCoy is what Hunter says. Ron says Chris Massey.
Yeah, Stone, I don't consider Stone because he went to IMG. You can't count it. That's the problem with it.
Yeah. Jamal Brown out of Booker T. How high? Meacham? Robert Meacham was high. I don't think Meacham was even top 20 kid.
I mean, you had that whole group at Booker T with RW, Damon Parker. All those were high, but they weren't nationally top.
BJ Tiger.
Highly coveted. He was not ranked that high.
White was coveted out of Tuttle, but he wasn't. Yeah. And Hunter, yeah, he was 25. My point. He's still not top 20. This guy, everyone's saying is top 20 in the rankings.
Yeah, but you're basing it off an on-3 rank, Jeremy. I mean, it's not a consensus thing.
I agree, Jay. Thank you.
You sound like Pat Jones.
Well, Jay, people have been bashing on-3 all night, and then they pop something in there that this guy's top 20.
Why are you worried about it? Why do you worry about it?
If you're gonna bash on-3, don't put their rating in there.
Well, or you can just ignore it.
It's pointless to me.
Okay, it's pointless. There you go. Who cares? That's right.
I agree. Who cares, Hunter? Who cares?
Who cares, baby? Hey, You know what we don't hear very often anymore? Hey, real quick. You know what term you never hear anymore?
What?
As far as recruiting in high school. You don't hear it much.
What's that?
Blue chip.
Jay, everyone's a blue chip.
No, that was used to be the term for a 4 or 5 star guy.
They would say blue chip instead of 4 and 5 stars.
Yes, it was how many blue chippers on your team. Blue chippers were pretty much consistent 4 or 5 star guys. So you look at OU's current 2025 recruiting class, how many blue chippers they have? They got quite a bit on there right now. So, but you just don't hear that term very much anymore. Blue chippers.
You don't. And Mez, no one was saying who cares to you. You brought up a valid point.
It was
They're saying point. Who cares to me about how I'm talking about on-3.
Yes. And that's a perfect dang example right there, Hunter. Zadavian Sims. He was highly.
Zadavian Sims was 31. I was going to say, I no way he's talking about Zadavian Sims, Jay.
Okay.
Golly.
Hey.
I about got out of my chair.
I like that green chip. I like it. The green chip.
Zidane Sims was about 130, maybe 130, if even that.
Is Thompson the backup? Man, that's a great question.
Yes and no.
I heard somebody on
Yes
the
and no.
radio, an OU guy, a couple weeks ago saying that they think if it started today, Thompson would be the backup.
I agree.
Hawkins is pushing him, but
yeah.
Personally, I'd rather see Hawkins.
Yeah, Wes Sims was massive.
Hey, Chief. Gabe Lynn was one of the most, I think,
overrated,
overhyped guy. I think he was a good player, but he was very highly ranked.
He was at Jinx, Jay. That was the time period where they were getting all the hype. Hey, Jay, is there something wrong with the YouTube count tonight? I think there is.
There's something wrong with it. It's acting up.
Xavier Sims was 244. Okay, I'll live with that. Yeah, who was the best player to ever come out of Oklahoma? Forget the rankings. Wow. We'll end on this note. Best player to ever come out of Oklahoma, Jay. Steve Largent? Just kidding. He had maybe the best in NFL. I did not know Gabe Lynn's wife is Jalen Hurts' agent. I did not know that.
Oh, that's interesting. Didn't know that either.
Selman's, yeah, that's got to be it.
I mean, McCoy, but I mean, Selman's is really the only answer you can take.
Aikman from Henrietta. Nicole Lynn is the GOAT. Hey, you guys are all the GOAT too. It says there's only 16 on here. That's wrong. It's a lot more than that, and you guys have been great tonight as always. It was weird, Jay. I was here on a Tuesday night.
Toby Keith, Teresa says, yeah, hey, I know. Good to have you on a Tuesday night, Jerm.
Good to be here. Congrats to Monty's nephew.
Yep, Super Regionals 2 nights away.
2 nights away from OU versus the Seminoles. Cannot wait. Make sure you guys
pin this for tomorrow. Pin this for tomorrow.
Pin it.
I'd like to talk about that tomorrow.
This is a great point for tomorrow night. We'll put something like this in the graphic to help with it too. Something to remind us of this. Great thought, Mez. We'll get that tomorrow night. Be thinking on it. Appreciate everyone. Check out the Fan Stop for us. Till next time. Boomer.
Sooner.